New Year's resolution. Boys, we're rolling.
Oi, oi! How are we, chaps?
Mate, we're very good. Let me tell you something before we start. So, every Thursday, as I think you know, I might have dropped this in the group. Before we record this, I take my lad swimming, right? He goes to swimming lessons, I sit on the side, and he does his back and forth. And every time he swims to one end and he looks around and he goes like this. So I'm like, yeah, go on, lad, you're smashing it. Anyway, today I'm sitting like front row, right? And he kills it, does this big swim, one side to the other. And I think he knew it was Podcast Thursday because I've never taught him this. So he looks up and he goes,
Way!
What does that even mean? We all just do it.
hello? Ring you. I'll ring you later.
Devil horns.
Dicko, are you being really unprofessional tonight and having a beer?
No, mate, I don't drink on a Thursday. Of course I am, pal. Are you?
Yeah.
What's that? Big wave. Oh, I've seen them before. What are they like? You have to let me know.
I don't know. I was just at the counter like this.
Whoa, really? That's a big wave.
Big wave.
What are you on, Matt? Are you on the straight vodka?
Vimto, mate, yeah.
On the hard stuff?
Full fat as well, mate. You know what I mean? No games on Thursday.
Boys, now, mate. You can drink what you want.
I tell you what, though, mate. I drink that at the moment. I'm roasted.
Oh, it's lovely. It's how cold it looks. Look at that.
That's sick.
Beautiful.
Yeah, mate. Mine's the same. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got
wet.
the condensation.
Like a large man's undercarriage.
I should have one, really. Should I? I got my degree today.
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, Matty Mainwaring.
Congratulations.
Good. Mate,
years,
big wave.
4 years.
Well done, lad.
That is amazing, mate. Hang on. Congratulations.
Unreal, mate. Well done.
Cheers.
Matty Mainwaring.
Last exam today, got the pass and that. So,
Good lad.
4 years.
So what does that mean for you now? Where do you go from here? What happens
Just
next?
a qualified physio now, mate. 4 years work done, degree done. So I don't know. I'm having a good few weeks.
Now you can put your price list up.
Hey?
Now you can put your price list up.
Yeah. I'm a good few weeks rest from study. I think it's been hard. It's not been easy with the COVID and stuff. Everything ended up back to back. So yeah, it's all good now. We're done.
Have some fun now.
Let's speak about that for a moment. Are you, because obviously you successful footballer, successful as a boxer? Do you have a preference to which line you'd rather work in, or can you cross over?
It's not something I thought about. I think it probably would lend itself to footy quite naturally. Been in that since being a baby, but boxing, I mean, until you reach the very top, there's no personal physios to anybody. So the only way you can do that is set up private, which I've got me a sports massage clinic and stuff. So I don't know. If you was to get in sport, I think it'd most definitely be football. But who knows?
Should we get on the phone to County?
Yeah, get on the phone to County.
County's very own.
Back where I belong.
Were you guys playing when Roger Wilde was there?
Roger Wilde, mate, has made me run that much over the past, and dug his elbows, his thumbs into my hamstrings that many times.
I broke my leg under Roger.
It was weird, mate. It was weird. He was the fittest old man I've ever met in my life.
I think he lived for having nobody injured, so he could just do an hour on the Stairmaster.
Honestly, mate, he had his. He used to sit there. He used to walk in on a hot day with his top up here like this every day, like this, both sides, shorts up here, and just run and just like running.
Lower body fat than me and Liam put together.
Oh, he was shredded. It was weird, mate. It wasn't for me. I'd rather be fat and happy. What a nice guy. Roger Wilde, legend, mate. Honestly, legend.
Legend, yeah, class.
Could we, if Matty, if you follow the right career path now, could we be talking to the next Roger Wilde here?
Yeah, that's what it is. Roger's a qualified physio. Obviously, got how many years? 30, 35, maybe years experience. So he's very experienced. But that's what it is. Yeah, you have to do in physiotherapy. People who don't really know, they associate with sports, and I did when I first started. I retired from boxing, 27, and within a month, I had an interview lined up to get into uni, thinking it's all MSK in sports. MSK is 5% of it. There's so much more to it. But if that's the route you choose, which Roger obviously did, being an ex-pro.
Sorry, mate. Just what's MSK?
Musculoskeletal. So anything to do with bones, ligaments, soft tissue, all that sort of stuff. And then there's all that the neurology, cardiorespiratory, everything. So there's the brain, nervous system. There's all these things you've got to learn over the 4 years and learn it inside out. It's a very, very tough degree because you're not taught that in school. You're taught maths, English, science, and you extend that into college level and then extend it into degree level. I remember my first week at uni and I had a breakdown just with the passwords they were giving me to remember. You remember this for this, remember this for this, and it's just information overload, and you just gradually get used to it. But yeah, to answer your question, that if that's what I choose to do, then yeah, absolutely, you could end up at a football club. Whether I will or not, I don't know, but it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
We should say you were a bit of an unsung hero throughout this lockdown, however it started, wherever it's going, because the amount of nights that you would come in and you literally had to, not even an hour's window, just be in between coming in from your placement work and then starting revision or essays or whatever it was you had to do. The fact that you still found time for this.
No, mate, I love this. I love this. And from Jan to April, I had 12 weeks straight placement to do at uni, and it's unpaid. And that's only because COVID struck last year, and it all ended up back to back. We have to do 1,000 hours unpaid throughout the 4 years, and the final 12-week block was tough. I ended up losing. I think I lost about 9 or 10 pounds in weight, just pure stress. I wasn't doing any training, just preparing for getting in from at 6 and 7 at night, preparing for exams, and then just repeat in the morning. It's just like that for 12 weeks straight. So I just made a choice one day when someone said you're looking a bit light. I just made a choice to raid the fridge and not stop. So we're back to normal. But yeah, no, it's this was my little getaway, to be honest. That's what it was. It was a little stress reliever, and getting back to footy.
Do you still train now?
I'm back training now, yeah, back training. But then I wasn't for 12 weeks straight. I was barely doing anything because I thought, running, I'll just disappear. I was near my fighting weight, having not done anything. It was just pure working round the clock. It's tough, but we're through it.
Just proves not all superheroes wear cape.
That's it, mate. If you need me to carry you, mate, I will.
You won't be able to carry me, mate. Let me
tell you.
Not with my dad. No.
What kind of training do you do, man?
Well, now?
Yeah.
I'm in the gym every morning doing strength and stuff, but I still jump the bar, do the boxing and that on my own, and a couple of runs a week. Used to, I don't know, average probably somewhere between 6 and 12, 13 miles a week on an average week. Sometimes more if I'm feeling a bit cheeky, but just gym every morning really, and hit the bags and stuff, standard stuff really. I don't kick a ball.
Tell me this. So I've got a heavy bag at home, and I love getting out and just smashing it around for half an hour. Like it's a great stress reliever and all the rest of it. But there's one in the gym where I go to, and as much as I want to get on it, I can't do it in front of other people.
Yeah, I'll do some pads with you, mate, this summer. That's a guarantee.
I'm definitely going to take you up on that.
And you, Big Shag, as well.
I'm up for that, mate. I'm up for that.
I'll get you in holiday shape.
One thing we can't do is mix that with the day that we do it in the pub beer garden, because pub beer garden and boxing gloves, like someone's getting hurt. It's probably going to be me. So anyway, cheers, Dicko, and cheers to Matty. Well done.
Well done, Matt. Yes. Proud of you, Shag.
Cheers, Shag. Thank you.
A couple of big games of football coming up, boys. We'll talk about that European tournament in a few moments' time, but the playoffs first and foremost.
The main one.
The main one.
Yeah.
Before we go into County Hartlepool and who to watch and everything else, before we go into that, if you're a County fan, is there any question in your mind that when if the game, should I say, goes to extra time, you flick over and watch England, or you leave the ground and watch England?
Liam?
Nah, mate, it's County. England have got another 2 games in the group. It's a no-brainer for me. I'm watching County.
Good answer, Matt.
To be honest with you, I'll be deadly honest now. I've promised my daughter to take her to Blackpool on Sunday, and I can't break that promise. So I'm going to be streaming on my phone whilst walking around Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Probably on the ride, I could possibly get a ride stopped for not putting my phone down for watching the county game. But you know what? It is what it is.
Massive.
I love the idea of you going down the big one just as Paddy Madden breaks clear or something.
I'm not screaming. I'm not screaming because of the ride. I'm screaming, shoot!
Get that picture at the top of the big one, mate, on his phone.
Mate, you've got to represent though. You've got to wear the county shirt.
Yeah, for the Wembley one. Let's wear the Wembley one.
Yeah,
big one.
We want to see that for all the millions of people that are watching this right now, or at least when it goes out. We're going to ask you to put on Twitter or Instagram or whatever the picture of you going down the big one or equivalent with your county shirt on.
I can do that. I can work with that. My daughter will be absolutely mortified, but you know what? Swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Sorry, love.
We need a Monton date, Liam, soon. We've said it for ages.
A Monton day. We do, mate. Yeah, I'll keep threatening, don't we?
We need a modern day what, sorry?
A Monton day.
No, so like Monton Village, where I live and me and Liam live, it's literally the bars are the bars are between us. Yeah. Yeah.
There's just bars everywhere, food places everywhere. It's great.
Mate, let's make an evening there. I'm for that.
Bring the camp.
But when you get to my age, it's all about daytime drinking because at 10:30 you're asleep. It's daytime. Sunday beers, mate. Sunday beers, the one.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm starting to feel when you say when I get to your age, are we all the same age?
I think I'm the oldest, aren't I? I'm 35.
Yeah, you're slightly older than me. What makes you feel?
33, Chris.
34.
34. I'm 36 this year.
31. Spring chicken.
Still looks, don't look over 28, does he?
My dad says that. My dad says that when he sees me in that, and I've got my top off in the sun. God, you're a big lad for 12. you can imagine him saying it as well, can't you?
Yeah, 100%.
God, you're a big lad for 12.
Right, let's talk football. I want to start with Matty because we albeit we're starting this late in the season, but ideas like this they come and they come and you get them going, don't you? Matty, we've asked you to start looking at performances of players in the last couple of games and saying who's going to be important in the games to come. It just so happens that the games to come, potentially games, is the playoffs. Obviously, it's huge for County. It's huge for any club who's involved in playoffs at any time. But for County, you get the impression at the minute it's something special because it's the takeover's first full season and everything else. So Hartlepool on Sunday, huge game, tough game, not easy. Tell us what you've been seeing around the players. Who are the players to watch? What we can look out for, and basically gives a heads up about the game.
So the way I see it, I mean, we're going to go into this game as we're going to be the favourites. We're going to be the most obvious favourites of the four. It's very hard to nail down a couple of more important players than the rest because we're all cogs in the wheel. But you'll have your players that may or may not be thinking, "Am I going to be in the side? Am I not going to be in the side?" I could be. I should be. I played well last week. I played well the week before. But then you'll also have your players that are just first name on the team sheet. The ones that spring to mind: Ben Hinchcliffe, John Rooney, and a few more. Like I say, all the lads are cogs in the wheel. If you look at the previous one or two games, let's take John Rooney, for example, it looks like he's playing with bags of confidence. He creates things when things shouldn't really be created. His passing ability is second to none. And you know, he leads the line for us, really. He leads the line. When things are tough, he gets us something. He shoots through bodies. I think his goal was it Yeovil. He shot through bodies, it deflected. Something I've always been a big fan of, and you'll be the same, Liam, as a striker. Shoot through players. Keeper can't see it, and it could ricochet like a pinball and go in anywhere. I think three out of the last, maybe 2 out of the last 3 goals we've seen for and against have been deflections, shot through bodies. So Rooney, in that sense, leads the line, and we're going to need players like that when it gets tough. And Hartlepool won't be easy. They're not going to roll over. Equally, somebody like Ben Hinchcliffe pulls out 2 great saves in the last game. Same in Yeovil. You know, he's been tremendous all season. I think 8 clean sheets in the last 12. I think he's kept 17 over the course of the season.
Yeah.
19.
Got the Golden Gloves, hasn't he?
Most clean sheets in the league, yeah.
On my Twitter, the whole of Twitter are applauding him and saying what an invaluable signing. And I think we're lucky to have him. And I think he's a great goalkeeper. I think he's a Football League goalkeeper. You know, and we're lucky to have him. And not only that, you know, you look at other players, South from Hales, who's tormenting Wokin's fullback, just creating chances. Alex Reid, he's a big lad like Liam. You know, Liam, you'll know all about that. But just you might not stick with him if he's under a lot of pressure, but he'll make it spill to one of our players. He'll just get you something to get you 50 yards up the pitch. These are the things that, you know, football's a game of inches. These are the things that are going to swing a tight game into our favour. And I think, sort of to answer your question, if you get 7 or 8 good performances, law of averages says you're going to win the game. And I think that's what I predict.
Let me ask you something about on the John Rooney perspective then, because we've purposely not mentioned it through the season. I mean, it may have come up once or twice. I can't think of any occasion, but I'm sure someone could point it out if they needed to. The fact that there's more pressure on John Rooney, if you like, because of his brother, because of his everywhere he goes, he's always going to have that, right? And then you've got the last couple of games, the last one in particular, the Yeovil game, where listen, if we don't win that game, we might be in a worse off spot playoff wise.
Yeah,
exactly. So, albeit it probably wasn't the biggest game of his life, so to speak, it's an important game for the season. It's teeing something up. The fact that he's able to play under that pressure, week in, week out, does that add to the physical abilities that you've just been speaking about? The football knowledge of when to shoot and the passes that he unlocks and everything else. You know, that he's obviously a very talented footballer. There's plenty of talented footballers. He's done it with this extra bit of pressure, and then even heightened in the Oval game. Does that make him even more special, if you like?
Yeah, it does. I mean, he's a Rooney at the end of the day. We expect nothing else, do we? Mm-hmm. I've got a lot of respect for him because when I had a short spell with him at Chester, and he loves the game. He plays like he loves the game. It's quite obvious, and like I just said there in the previous comment, I think he's got the ability and the character to potentially carry us through a hard time. And he has done. All the goals he's bagged. And I'm not talking about spectacular goals, just sometimes, like the one against Yeovil, it's just, you know, it's tight. I'm going to have a pop here, and it ends up in. You know, as a striker, Liam, you'll know all about the importance of that. And I think his character is a massive part of his ability, definitely.
I think from my point of view, it'll be a bit of a boost for him because he won't want to live in the shadow of Wayne Rooney. He'll want to be his own player, and he'll want to make his own career and have his own journey. So I think he'll thrive off maybe sometimes trying to prove people wrong, or trying to cancel out that comparison. I know for me, when it's a pressure game, I love him. So he's not. You're talking about a player who's played for big teams. Obviously, he was at Salford, he's played at Aberdeen. He's played at big teams. And he's seen the bigger picture. He's chose to come to county because he sees a future. As a footballer, you obviously, Matt, yourself. You could. It's not a long career. It's a short career. You've got to do what's best for you throughout your career. And for him to come to Stockport County, he obviously sees the bigger picture and he sees the future. And for someone with his ability and his capability of like Matt said, taking us to that next level, he will be taking it on his shoulders and be buzzing with it. I don't think he'll be feeling the pressure. I think he'll be absolutely buzzing with it, and he's proved that throughout the season. And like you say, not all spectacular goals. The little there's a gap there. I'll have a dig. I'll try it. It goes in. They're the ones that go unnoticed, but they're equally as important as the spectacular goals. And I feel like he's helped transform the club into the right direction since coming in.
Yeah, that's a good line. That I agree. Another player you mentioned there, Matt, for me, has been just one of the standouts. Unbelievable season. Even if it didn't maybe start the way he anticipated, he wasn't getting a great deal of game time way back at the start of the season, which is hard to imagine now. Macaulay Southern Hales. We've had him on this show. We've had him on post-match interviews on a couple of occasions. Really great lad. One thing I'll just drop in really quickly. I did a post-match interview with him a few weeks ago. It was really bad, this. So I'd left my filming gear at work. So I didn't have the tripod, didn't have the first choice camera. So I'm on this little backup camera that I'm holding. It's not much bigger than a phone, right? So I'm holding it like this, and I've got a microphone that I'm kind of keeping out of shot. Not the most professional interview I've ever done, but he's all right. He's a nice lad, so he goes with it. We're just about to start this interview. And as you know, we do a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and we start. And as soon as I said 1, a gust of wind hit me in the face. Right? And a tear just came out my eye. But I was already started by then. And this whole like 6 or 7 minute interview, which is a long time when something's happening, this tear was massive. Like it was going down my face. And at the end of it, honestly, so we get through it, and he's talking about the game and everything else. And at the end of it, I said, right, Macaulay, thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Yeah, see you, Pam. He goes, you all right, mate?
Do you know what, Chris? I'll tell you from experience, some actors work all their life to nail that single tear, mate. If you can nail it like that.
There's no casting calls coming for me, mate. But what a player. What a player. What a season.
Yeah, I mean, watching him be overly tormented, the left back, and again, relating this back to Liam and your position, it's a dream for you, because he'll just ping crosses in. We're getting fans back now, and there's nothing more exciting for a group of fans if your winger's direct, and your winger takes the full on, and there's nothing more frightening, and there's nothing more a fullback doesn't want than somebody who's ready to front him up and go past him. There are people in front of you, but you take them that way. They don't like it. They've got to do the job then. And somebody like Liam, who's lingering in the box, waiting to be fed. It's just that's what he does. That's what he does for a living. It's what he does best.
Yeah. You dream of that as a striker. As a striker, obviously, as the game's evolved, you're talking about strikers dropping in ball to feet. You ain't going to score goals unless you're Harry Kane scoring from 25 yards out. You want to be in the 6-yard box, getting your toe on the end of something. They all count. They all count that goal bonus at the end of the season. They all count that tally. Do you know what I mean? That's easy. It's a lot easier to score from 6 yards out than it is from 26 yards out. And I feel like the style of play in football in our day and age has changed massively. So when I played, it was a 4-4-2, or we were kind of the generation where it was starting to evolve, and we played the 4-2-3-1, if you will. But for any striker, to have someone like that who can beat a man and whip a ball into the box, it's a dream come true. That. And
they're dying out, aren't they? Wingers like that are dying out, because what's happening now is players are starting to float, because breaking the shape. Wingers come inside because they can't get past the fullback. It's just football's different now.
You look at back in the day. I know it's not really a comparison, but you tell me how many times David Beckham floated in from that right into the centre mid or over to the left.
Exactly.
It happened, didn't it? You stick to what you're good at, and he was good at getting the ball out of his feet, whipping the ball onto a sixpence, onto Andy Cole's head, goal 1-0. And that's what you need more of, putting the ball in the box early or beating a man and putting the ball in the box. Strikers get frustrated by making them runs in the box, and the ball don't come in and they back out and they make a run, and eventually they stop making that run, and that's when the ball goes in, sod's law. So it's also having that understanding with the players. They've got that understanding. It looks like they've got that understanding when to go, when not to go, and it's working. And I feel like if it continues to work, they'll progress in the football league as well.
I feel like it's sorry, Chris. I'm just going to say I feel like it's a manager's dream as well. As a centre midfielder, a left-footed centre midfielder, I played probably 25% of my career on the left midfield as well, and I had good feet. That was my game. My close control, good feet. I don't think I did it enough. My dad as a kid used to be on it, mate. You've got great feet. Get at him. There's nothing worse than a fullback. The fullback doesn't want you running at him, and nothing bad can happen from you taking him that way. So if somebody's direct, the worst that can happen is he takes it off you. Better than that, he puts it out for a throw 40 yards up the pitch, and we're up as a team. Better than that, you go past him and whip a crossing. The fullback's got to stop you every single time. You've only got to get past once. That's the mentality that Macaulay looks like he's got at the moment. He looks confident, he looks direct, and he looks like he's going to feed Alex Reid and the likes, and it's great going into Sunday.
Just on that topic of wingers and getting something out of it, We used to say about Adam Thomas all the time. I got a lot of time for Adam Thomas. And one thing that he did time and time again, people might give him a bit of stick for parts of his game, but what he would do is he would run every single time. He'd take his man out wide. Every single time he'd go for that cross, and probably, I don't know, 70-30 against the favour of landing in the box. 30% of the time that ball would land in the box. 70% of the time wins a corner. Yeah. Every single time wins a corner. The thing that I like about Macaulay, just in addition to what you were just saying, is he's one of the few players, right? I do this all the time playing footy. When I think I've got the beating of a man, right? I've not got the beating of a mashed potato, right? But what I'll do is I run and I knock it past him, and 9 times out of 10 I've hit it too hard, and I can try and chase it, but we both know it's going out of play, and I ain't gonna get there. Macaulay has got this lightning acceleration that it doesn't matter how far ahead if he goes for it, he's going to keep it in, and it's crazy to see. You know, it's like someone's pressed fast forward, and
especially on a sticky summer pitch as well, where the ball holds up.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
That's exactly it. Knock it past and go.
It's going to be nice to, obviously when we do get into League Two, to see how we bear with obviously there's some big teams in League Two. Some very big teams in League Two, just to see where we're at, because obviously this season we know where we're at. We're up at the top of this league, and this league's probably the hardest league to get out of. Out of all the leagues, this league is probably the hardest league to get out of.
I'd agree with that. It's some giant stuff here, isn't it?
It is.
Well, I've got a theory. Tell me what you think about this theory, and I think you can apply it to any division. If you take any division, be it the National and the National North, or the National and League Two, or even, to prove a point, the Premier League and the Championship, if you put any 2 divisions next to each other and take away the top 6 from the higher one, and the bottom 6 from the lower, they're pretty similar. The quality is largely the same. Maybe there's the odd exception, but I do feel like if the standard of players we've got now, I mean, Matt spoke about it already, about Ben Hinchcliffe being a Football League goalkeeper. Dicko, you mentioned John Rooney, has played at this level. These players they're not going to, if we do go up, and I hope we do, I'd be amazed if we were anywhere near a relegation battle. Do you know what I mean? We're going up there.
So it'll be nice. I think if I'm right, I think I'm the last person to score over 20 goals in the Football League for Stockport County. So it'd be nice. I won't hold any grudges if anyone else beats that.
Really? I'll tell you what, let's put that out on Twitter. I'll do my homework.
I'm mistaken, but I genuinely think I am. I think I'm the last person to score over 20 goals the season we got promoted.
That's a very cool start. That's a very
before that, I think it was.
Is it Els?
No, Els didn't score 20.
Yeah.
It was a few years before me.
Luke Beckett? It's got to be someone before that.
I think it was Luke Beckett.
There's got to have been someone between Luke Beckett and you, surely.
I don't think it. I'm not. I think it might be Luke Beckett.
Well, to be fair, there was a long time of not great in between you.
Yeah. I mean, we had likes of Jermaine Easter there, but I don't think he did it. Who else? What other strikers? Alfie, no, because Alfie didn't play a lot, did he?
No. And do you know what, though, Liam? You know what? I think particularly in that playoff winning year, not just saying it to be best mates, the standard of your goals was second to none. It wasn't just about right place, right time. I remember you pinning players outside the box, pinning them at will, rolling, shooting, bottom bin, easy as you like, muscling players, out quicking players, the Wickham goal. The standard can't go unnoticed, really. There's plenty of poachers in the world, but I don't think he was a poacher that season.
No.
A lot of them were made, self-made, really, battled, wrestled your way through, out quick somebody, rocketed a shot, bottom corner, 2 feet, head, a lot. You know what I mean?
Now, I've just to be on the current squad. Not that I want to take anything away from your stat deco because that's amazing. But
honestly, if he can get beaten next season, I'll be happy with that.
Would you? I tell you what. Would you buy a pint for whoever breaks it?
I'll buy more than one pint. Over the night out.
Yeah, we'll go the nightlife near your house. If you so onto this squad now. Then I'm obviously in a fortunate position. I speak to people in and around the squad fairly regularly, and they're telling me that the camp's relaxed, it's happy, they're saying all the things they should do. I guess now's the time to be that the relaxed. Don't get me wrong, you're still focused and everything else, but now you haven't got any time for any smidge of negativity. Anyone bringing any of that to the table has got to be surely out the group for a while.
Well, nothing changes for me, because that's how it's got to be throughout the season. The negativity's got to be out the door. The worry, the nerves. Every game's a cup. We're talking about every game's cup final. The next game's the biggest game of the season, and especially when you've got something to play for and you're working your way up that ladder, which we have and we've done well all season. But I can remember back to when we were in the playoffs and nothing changed. It was no right extra pressure. Right, we need to do an extra session. It was just the same as a normal week. We trained. We ate at the same time. We had meetings at the same time. We did shape at the same time. We watched videos of the opposition. Nothing at all changed. We had more media coverage, but other than that, it was just the same week as it was the 5th, 6th, 7th week of the season. So, in light of that, they will be doing the same things. Yeah, all right. It's in the background. It's the playoffs, and there's excitement there, and it's a bit more heightened, a bit more highlighted. But the preparation that they will be doing will be exactly the same that they've been doing for the last 3 months.
Yeah. No, fair shout. Would you, if you were the gaffer, and this goes to both of you, if you were the gaffer, would you be giving the players any inclination of whether they were starting, whether they were on the bench, or is that something that stays completely under wraps until the day of?
I don't think there's anything, personally, I don't think there's anything to gain from keeping people guessing. I think they're all professionals. They've got to this stage, and like Nico said, it the nail on the head there. I think the information will be do what you've done to get you to this point. Nothing needs to change. In terms of picking a side, I believe he's going to, or if it was me, lay your side down. This is the side we're going to start with, so everybody knows the job's individual. I don't think there's much to be gained from keeping everyone guessing to the last minute, unless there's a bit of disruption in the camp, which we know there's not. Everyone's flying. Therefore, I personally believe everyone should know the playing and be able to mentally prepare.
Yeah, I agree. I think if he's leading up to the playoffs or in previous games, if the gaffers told people throughout the week early on a Monday or Tuesday about the team on a Saturday, then continue to do that. If you usually just pick the team on a Friday and lets you know, because by Friday you know if you're starting or not. When you're doing shape, Thursday usually, but Thursday, Friday, that's when you know you're going to be starting on a Saturday. Possibly, like Matt says, the earlier the better, because if you think you're starting on a Friday and he names that team different, your head could go a little bit. So I would probably get it in there, a few days earlier. Let people process it, let people get their heads around it, and then we move. Then we work from that. For me, playing in the playoffs, we knew what the team was going to be. We had a very big shock when Conrad Logan went in and John Ruddy didn't start. Exactly. Everyone was shocked when the gaffer had that name. Ruddy didn't know. He had no. I don't think the gaffer pulled him. I don't think the gaffer pulled him and told him. And I go back to it. I think I mentioned it last week, the week before. He was watching the playoff semi-final, and he was just zoomed into Ruddy, just sat on the ball, and he's just like that, just looking around, thinking, "What have I done?" And I feel like that can affect people mentally, players mentally. So, like going back to what Matt said, the earlier the better. The earlier the players know the team, they can prepare mentally and physically for it, and get them, get the anger and upset out here, and then prepare and you go and work professionally.
I'm going to let you two steer the ship for 30 seconds because I told you I was being unprofessional tonight. My beers are in the fridge. So take it away, boys.
What are you doing this weekend?
Well, Blackpool out of pal. Working
Blackpool,
tomorrow.
mate.
Blackpool on Saturday.
Have you got a prediction for this weekend? Both
I
games.
think, if I'm honest, I think it'll be a comfortable 2-0 victory for us.
Yeah.
I think. Honestly, what's that?
What about England?
England? I can't even predict with England. I don't even want to predict with England.
You know, we're favourites, aren't we? Favourites to win it.
Are we favourites? How I'm not being funny. Did you see that tweet? Someone put a tweet on the other day. It was at one of the obviously pre-tournament friendlies. Did you see Portugal's side?
Yeah, mate. Well strong, isn't it?
Wow.
I know.
Wow. Did you see it, Chris?
Have we moved on to the Euros?
We're talking about obviously England are meant to be favourites. Have you seen Portugal's side? Portugal,
joint favourites with I think it's France.
France.
Yeah.
My money's on Portugal.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it might be sneaky, but my dad's gone for Belgium.
Belgium as well, yeah. I might put a double on County and Portugal.
Is
go up.
County go up. Portugal to win it.
Didn't De Bruyne like break something in his face?
Ah, yeah.
It broke.
For me, Belgium rely on him.
No, see,
They don't rely on him. They don't rely on him. Their hopes. They're a much weaker team without him.
See.
Lukaku's flying though.
I feel like City rely on him, but I don't know if Belgium do.
Because
Hazard's
not injuries and stuff. He's not.
When Hazard wants to turn it on, mate, Hazard will turn it on.
We'll see, won't we?
Talent. He's got. We'll see. We'll see. I think Belgium will be up there, but for me, I think Portugal. I reckon Portugal will win it.
Right. Before we go to the Euros,
for Ronaldo, won't it?
Before we go into the Euros conversation, this was highly recommended.
Yep.
Yeah. I will buy you a case of that, Deco.
Big wave. What?
I want to buy you something for passing
4.4.
4.4, yeah.
A week for me, that mate. I'm on these hazy 6.9s these days. I'm like an alcoholic at the job centre.
I've been trying to go to the gym in the morning, and I can't. If I'm smashing 6 point somethings, I can't.
What's your favourite machine?
The vending machine.
Good lad.
The exit. The one where you put your pin in. The exit, that machine.
It's not working. I've put my pound in. It's not working.
Talk about not working. I've been going to the gym for ages, and I've still got cotton threads at the end of these leaves. Well,
you're built like a broom, aren't you?
This is it, mate. Muscle broom. But now I'm on this one.
Oh, what's this one? Neck oil, mate. So this is my mate's. This is my friend's. One of my pals who was at Blackpool with Stephen McPhee. He's like one of my best mates. That's his go-to. He loves it. Neck oil. He buys it by the case. I
thought you were going to say it was his beer. Then I was going to say ring him.
No.
How he goes.
Yeah. So he introduced me to that. It's really nice, that neck oil. But they do. What is it, like 4.7 or something? Or
guess again, a bit lower.
Is it a bit lower? 4.3.
It is 4.4. Yeah.
So they've got a double neck oil that's like 8 point something, 8.1%.
It's like syrup.
You need like a knife and fork to cut into it. I had 2 cans of it. I was smashed.
Matt, sometimes. So do you know what? Do you know what? Right? Because Matt, you don't drink. And I think I heard a saying recently, and do you know what? I can relate to it. Not being hungover is better than being drunk.
Not being. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't know. I would not know.
Yeah. You never wake up in the morning. You never ever wake up in the morning and go, "Oh, I wish I had one more beer last night." You never ever do that.
Yeah, you don't.
I've just done it when I've seen yours. I wish I'd have had a beer. I'm sweating here.
Yeah, it's very sticky and humid. Right, let's talk Euros. Then. We've already kind of teased it and started it. Do you know what? Before we start talking about who's going to win it, and even before we start talking about England, what game to kick us off tomorrow night? I love the first game, right? Because you get all the opening ceremony. I'm just a sucker for all that stuff. Italy, Turkey. I'm down with that. I get behind.
See, for me, Italy aren't interesting no more. Italy aren't Italy anymore.
They never were, but they're solid, aren't they?
They just you can't help but watch Italians play football. Like for me anyway. Like you can exactly like all giving it this. Like I just think there's something about it. Even if even in recent years, I hate Balotelli. I think the guy is it past 9 o'clock? Are we allowed to swear?
Belen.
I think the guy's a complete prickstick. But I couldn't not watch his team, that team with him in it, Pirlo, Chiellini, blah blah blah. Just, even if it's not them doing it, like when Suarez bit was it Chiellini?
Yeah.
Things just happen in the Italian games. You know, Zidane headbutting. Was it Materazzi?
Do you remember watching? Was it ever on Saturday? Football Italia.
Yeah.
How sick was it, mate? It was so good. Every Saturday, so I think it was every Saturday.
With the big football on the screen.
And it was the big football, yeah. It was class, mate. Just wonder goals all the time.
Honestly, I think my favourite players growing up, I look back and, all right, there was obviously a few in the Prem, but I think like the players that played in Italy, not necessarily Italian, Del Piero, Totti, Shevchenko, just
Del
like
Piero's one of mine, yeah.
Del Piero, Tonyan.
Can I name drop?
Go on.
So a few years ago, right, I'm working this event with Roberto Carlos, Rivaldo, and Steve Gerrard, and a few other players. By the way, Gerrard, what a swear word he was. But anyway,
was it?
Yeah. Anyway, Del Piero comes in, and I'm like, whatever happens here, I am having an interview with Alessandro Del Piero. That's happening. So anyway, he comes in, get himself positioned. Alessandro, do you mind if I borrow you for a couple of minutes? He's like, yeah, no problem, mate. Best mate. He said he called me. He said anything to be interviewed by you. Gave me a big hug. It was great. And I might have exaggerated that a little bit, but I think his words were, yeah, okay. Anyway, so we're just about to start doing it, and an Italian fan, probably the age of your dad, somehow, saying broke through security makes him sound like he's Romanian. He just kind of snuck through. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. He got in, and we're just about to start this interview, and he puts his hand on Alessandro, if you like, from behind, like Alessandro, and he's obviously saying something Italian. And I got the impression that he was trying to say, "You are my favourite ever player." Anyway, within 5 seconds of speaking to Del Piero, this guy is crying his eyes out, like giving him this big, massive hug. You are a favourite. I don't know what he was saying. I don't speak Italian, but he was like, obviously, like huge. And Del Piero, to be fair, basically made this guy's life. Just like big hug, selfie with him, like just like what has just happened in front of me, and why did it not record? Like who the hell did he?
Football though, that's the power of football.
It's crazy. It is crazy. But, it was mad. I was telling Rivaldo about it a few seconds later. It was, you know, it was.
It happens every week to me. What a player he was.
Oh, it's class, funny.
Yeah, so
you'll never ever beat a better advert than that. Remember the Total 90 ball?
Yeah.
Was
it the one in the cage with Cantona was the ref?
No, it was the one with the airport one.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, that was the best one ever, the airport one. Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos, Figo.
All the big dogs.
All the big dogs. If you were in that advert, you knew you made it.
Remember his performance for the United in the group stages, 99, I mean.
Who's?
Rivaldo, over that
Rivaldo.
Kick, the bar from 25 yards out. It's just free kick.
But do you remember when he fell over holding his face?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I knew that was coming next. That's bad news.
Against Turkey, so it's relevant, you know. It's the opening game. Italy, any chance of winning?
No, not for me.
The comp?
Yeah.
Any chance, but I can't see him. I can't see it.
How highly do you rate Mancini?
Say again.
Roberto Mancini. He's Italy manager, isn't he?
Yeah, I think you rate everybody at that level, don't you? We'll see. I think we'll see, won't we?
I feel like if if you've got the national team job for Italy, you've got something about you. You've got to have something about you.
You're pretty good, and
you're pretty good, and obviously he's produced in at club level as well. They're not just going to hire or just give the job to a 2-bit manager. Do you know what I mean? His resume obviously impressed them, and what he's about, his philosophy in football. I just don't think that. I feel like it's just better. There's currently bigger and better teams out there, the likes of France, the likes of Germany, the likes of
England,
Portugal. There's plenty of teams out there that will do better than them in the sort of should do better than them. Sorry, not possibly will do, but should do on paper. I'm just scared of that Portugal side of me. It looks frightening.
Before we go, it's just one final comment on Italian managers. Sarri, who I thought was quite poorly treated by Chelsea, if I'm honest, did really good things for them, was announced as Lazio manager this week. I'm a big fan of how I study a lot of clubs and how they manage social media, and different clubs have different ways of doing it. Lazio, a bit about them. They announced Sarri as manager. Do you know how they did it?
Go on.
Media.
Tweeted the cigarette being smoked emoji. That was it.
That's class, that. That's class, that.
Different, isn't it?
That is class. I love that.
Yeah. None of this like delighted to announce with a picture of the scarf. None of that rubbish. Well, they probably didn't have that as well, but like the cigarette emoji was the kicker.
That's class.
So England. I want to start. There's a few players I want to speak about, and they're the obvious ones.
Right backs.
Well, yeah, right backs. We'll come there in a minute. Your mate Trips. I'll speak about him in a sec. But Phil Foden, I get the impression like for ages people were saying give Phil a chance. This is to Pep, not even to England. We want to see Phil Foden, see what he can do. And then in a very short space of time, and I guess this is credit to Pep Guardiola and his team as well as to Phil. In a very short space, he's gone from he looks good in the 10 minutes here and there that he gets, but what he really got to is he the next Gaza? He's bringing it home for England. And I can't help but think, is it a bit too soon to be talking about?
I don't think it's too soon. I think he's been managed perfectly. I feel like I wish that Rashford had been managed like that. I feel United haven't got the resources or the squad to cope without a Marcus Rashford. And I think Rashford's played with an injury throughout the season. For me, he was thrown in the deep end from his debut when we were struggling for players. And
was it Norwich? Was it Norwich?
It was in the cup, wasn't it? Or was it against Arsenal? Was it Arsenal? I think it was Arsenal. His debut against Arsenal. No, Martial's was Liverpool. Pretty sure it was Arsenal. He played in the cup anyway, and he scored. I think he scored 2 goals, and he played. I think he scored 2 against Arsenal as well. They were the first 2. I'm pretty sure they were the first 2 games, and that was kind of when he was really introduced onto the scene. And then it was like, right, we're relying on him now. And I felt like it put too much pressure on a young kid's shoulders. He outplayed him, he overplayed him, and then the expectations were up there. So when he had an average game, he was getting slated off the fans or off the the management was getting slated. I feel like Pep has bedded it, folded in perfectly. He's been times when fans are crying out, why is he only playing 10 minutes? Why is he not playing? He's played really well. And I feel like he's at a point in his career now where he's one of the first names on the England team sheet, not just the City team sheet, the England team. I can't think of anyone that wouldn't start Foden for England. Yeah. There's not many. I can't think of anyone that wouldn't start him.
Matt, let me get your opinion on this. I'll tell you what, I'm going to change the question slightly for you. Foden and or Grealish?
Is that the question? And or? Yeah,
kick us off with
that. For me, and Grealish. And Grealish is a great player. I wish United have gone after him. But just getting back to what Liam was saying there, fantastic point about managing that. Not many would think of that. I totally agree. I think he's almost sort of dipped his toe in with him, but still left that hunger there. And I agree with the resources as well. City have got a very strong side. You can ease somebody. I think United have relied on Rashford a little bit when he's shown promise. But getting back to your question, Grealish is a great player. You can have some fun with that with the formation with those two players, and then bring Sterling into the mix as well. We're quite promising, aren't we, this year? Not saying we've got what it takes to go and win it, but we're in the conversation, aren't we?
What would you play? So obviously up top, it's a no-brainer. Kane starts. Do you play Sancho on the right? Do you play Foden in behind and Grealish to the left? Obviously because they're all going to rotate. That leaving you with two holding midfielders, or what is it?
I think right.
You play four at the back. If you've not got Harry Maguire, do you play three at the back? It's crazy how it all depends on certain players.
That's a good point. I think for me, if Maguire's fit, then we're looking at a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this tentatively because I feel like things are so fluid, it could change game by game. But Sancho doesn't start for me.
Why is that?
Because the three behind Kane, in my opinion, is Foden, Grealish and Sterling.
What about Mount? Not going to play Mount in there.
I mean,
bearing in mind, Sterling struggled to get into the City team of late because of his performances. But I feel like for me, the likes of Sancho, because he plays in Germany, doesn't get as much coverage, but he's smashing it over there.
Yeah, and so, the reason I'm going to stand by it for Sterling, I think we're pretty agreed. Tell me if I'm not on Grealish and Foden. Yeah, both of those got to be. So we're then talking about one slot for Sterling, Mount, who potentially could drop deeper, but I don't really want to go there just yet. So Sancho, Mount, or Sterling. Sterling, for me, is one of the most improved players in world football in recent years. Under Pep, unbelievable job. People were saying he's not going to. Sterling's, he's all right. He's this, he's that. Under Pep, he's looked all right. He's missing certain qualities to his game. You give him the chance to shine in an England shirt now, where the pressure's on him. I think he delivers. I think he's.
So if we've all agreed on Grealish and Foden, who both play to the left, where you're going to play? You're going to play Sterling on the right because he don't play on the right. He plays left.
I don't think it matters. I think if you look at the way Pep ran Barcelona and the other clubs he's been involved with, all I see when I watch Pep's Barcelona was a back four and a front six. It doesn't really matter what the front six are doing. No real striker.
But even the likes of, you have certain players who they play on that side of the pitch, and you look at the best in the world. You look at Messi. Messi plays mainly to the right hand side of the pitch, coming inside, right to centre. He don't really find himself on the left hand side that much. For me, Sterling's pretty much the same. He plays on the left, floats in, gets in at the back stick. So I feel like you're overbalanced to the left hand side, whereas Sancho's a out and out right sided player.
Does it affect things if? Listen, I've got no insight whatsoever. The talk is Harry Kane seems to be off to Man City. Does that change things in the England dressing room? If he's hanging around, I don't know. Talking to
like they're there to win a tournament. It doesn't matter who you play for. You're there with you.
I get that. You're in the middle of a move from one set of lads to the other.
But it's a sunroof move. It's not a move backwards or I've not quite made the grade. I'm going to say that sunroof move. His confidence will be flying.
Yeah, and his teammates. And he's not got to worry because there's no other Spurs teammates in there, is there?
No, Trips is as close as you get, isn't it?
Yeah, Trips. Yeah. And for me, I don't know how Lingard's not gone. If you go to a job.
But then, so on that topic, on Lingard's topic, would you play him?
I'd definitely have him on the bench to come on.
Yeah,
he's probably one of the only front forward attacking players that will bomb on, go on behind Kane, run the channel. You know what I mean? Stretch play when Kane's coming short. don't think. Well, Grealish won't go in behind really.
But so for me, Sterling, right?
Sterling could, yeah. Sterling could.
I stand by Sterling. However, if it's not working, then yeah, either Mount goes in that position, Sancho, you move things around a little bit. I feel like there's too much of a queue for Lingard to get in.
Yeah, I suppose.
If you don't agree with Sterling as first choice, Sterling's ahead of Lingard, isn't he?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, yeah. But what you've also got to look at is we'll go back to what we're talking about in County, current momentum, performances.
Yeah.
You take that momentum into a playoffs. You're on the front foot. You're your favourites. Lingard's had a frightening second part of the season.
Yeah.
Sterling's had a poor second part of the season.
Yeah.
So you've got to also look at it that way.
Are we suggesting David Moyes for the England manager's job?
Who are you picking right back?
Right. Who's made the final cut?
So if Maguire's fit, you play Maguire and Stones.
Obviously, yeah.
You're playing Luke Shaw left back, or you're playing Ben Chilwell.
Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw for me.
Yeah, I don't mind either. I'll tell you, it wouldn't upset me if he went Chilwell. Wouldn't upset me if he went.
So if you're playing a 4-4-2, what right back are you playing? You're playing Walker. Are you playing James, or are you playing Trippier?
I play Walker.
Would you play Walker?
Yeah, I've not seen anything of Kieran Trippier this year.
That's what I mean. And again, that's what goes back to the Sancho thing, because they play in a different country. Because we don't watch them week in, week out. They kind of get ruled out a little bit from not from any fault of their own or fault of ours. It's just that we haven't got that media coverage of the games week in, week out.
But on the flip side, the last major competition, Trips was brilliant.
He scored in the semis.
He was brilliant. He always set plays.
Do you remember it?
I was in Salzburg. I was in Salzburg with FC United. I had a game. Half an hour later, there's fucking beers going everywhere.
You were having pints and you had a game half an hour later.
Yeah. If 15 minutes before game, I cut it off. But I just think not only not even just going off what Trippier did the last competition, the last tournament, he's just won the league and beat fucking Barcelona and Real Madrid to it. He was suspended for a large chunk of the season, and as soon as he was fit, as soon as he's available, he's straight back in the team.
Under one of the best defensive managers in world football.
Yeah.
You can make a case either way, because you can look at it from Walker's perspective.
Just won the league.
There's some big, strong countries out there. It'd be great defending set plays. Trips delivers set plays.
What I also can't get around my head around. Sorry, is. And I've heard, I listen to Talksport quite a lot every day. You have obviously people phoning, and everyone's got a point of view. Everyone's got their opinion, and they were saying they still can't believe that Wan-Bissaka's not even been mentioned.
Yeah,
going forward, yeah, okay, fair. He's not an attacking player. He's the best right back in the league defensively. The best. If you come up against France, I want him marking what's he called? Mbappe. I want him marking Mbappe for pace, power. Maybe Kyle Walker for pace.
Who would you drop though?
This goes back to what
I would have put him in before Alexander-Arnold. I would have put it. All right, you've got
Alexander-Arnold's not there now, so who would you swap him in for?
Ben White. I'd have a defensive right back, because some of these teams, Ronaldo, Mbappe, your Portugals, your Hazards, these players who've got pace. I want a defender against them, not someone who's going to be too busy going forward. Kyle Walker gets himself out of a lot of trouble because of his pace. He makes a lot of mistakes and he gets out of trouble because of his pace. Wan-Bissaka doesn't.
I'm all right with that because he can make up for it.
But not always. Not always. He doesn't always make up for it.
Yeah.
Whereas Wan-Bissaka is more defensive minded, and he won't take that risk of you've got them six people in front of you to bomb on and do all that. For me, I feel like it's just if you draw a France and Mbappe is ripping the arse out your right back, I want Wan-Bissaka on there just smashing him.
I'm wary that we've gone on an hour, but I still feel there's one big thing to hit. If you go on Twitter and type in the words Gareth Southgate, you will see a load of people saying he's done really well to keep harmony in the squad. He's made a lot of tough decisions. Some we agree with, some we don't, but we've got faith in him. He looks great in a suit. You've got the other half of Twitter going, this guy's an idiot. Where do you stand? I'll start with Matty and then come to Dicko.
Not really got an opinion. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm behind him till something, till we underachieve, and then we start to look, don't you? We achieved last big major competition. We did very well. I think we've got stronger since then. So we'll see what he does. That's my answer. We'll see what he does. It's a big job with big expectations, So.
I feel like he started off with an idea, and he wasn't a yes man. He's told the likes of Rooney, you're not going to play. He's told the England captain, the all-time England goal scorer, you going forward, you ain't going to play. To being more of a defensive-minded, similar to Solskjaer in a way of, I feel like he wants to play two holding midfielders. I feel like he just go out, just stick with your beliefs, your original beliefs. Because we've done well. We've done well in games, like you say. We've done well in tournaments. Just, do you know what? You got nothing to lose. It's a tournament. It's not a league over a full season. Go out, play some attacking football, enjoy it. Let the fans enjoy it. You enjoy it. Let the players enjoy it. I'm like I say, I'm with Matty. I'm behind him until we underachieve. And I feel like for me, this season, this tournament, it'll be semis. If we get to the final, I think we'll win it. But I've just got it in my head. We'll get knocked out in the semis.
If we get to the semis, has he done a good job?
No, because I expect to get to the semis. I don't think he's done a good job to get to the semis.
We're joint favourites, so
really it should be. He's done a good job. If he gets to the final, he's done a good job. Win or lose, but that's semis is expected for me.
So finally, let's make an England 11 out of the squad that he has, not who should have been in. I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Are we going to the goalkeeper?
So we'll start from the goalkeeper and then 10 outfield players.
Here we go.
That's the toughest one.
I
Peninsula. Yeah, I'll go with that. No,
that's the toughest one.
He's got a job to do. He's got a job to do in Stockport. He's unavailable. Club over country.
That's the toughest decision of all of them for me, the goalkeeper, because Pickford's not had a good season. Pickford's been off the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
He's our most experienced goalkeeper. Henderson's just coming through. Is he ready for the pressure? I don't know. Obviously, it's out of them two, but I'm gonna
go Matty first, and then Dicko. Don't think about it. Give me a straight answer straight away. Who starts in goal, Matty?
Pickford.
Dicko.
Pickford.
I agree. So we got Pickford there, right? So we're settled on Pickford, rightly or wrongly. Pickford in goal. Right back.
Walker for me.
I think he's going to go Walker.
Trippier for me.
I think he's going to go Kyle Walker. I'm tempted by Trips because of, like you say, what he's done. But I think
he was captain. He was captain last a couple of international friendlies ago. He had the armband on. I think he's going to go Trippier. Yeah, he did the press interview the other day with the gaffer.
Yeah, that's a good point actually.
I think I won't be surprised if Trippier's right back.
You know what, Matty? I'm sorry, I've been pulled over to the trip camp.
It's lovely and warm over here. Left back, Luke Shaw.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go with that.
Two centre halves.
You on Luke Shaw? You Luke Shaw as well? Yeah.
Yeah, all day long. Yeah, it's been brilliant.
I think he might play a back four. Hear me out. If Maguire, I think I've read Maguire's injured for this game. I think he might go Stones and Walker.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll play. I think he'll go. I don't think he'll. I think he'll go. He likes Connor Cody.
No way is Connor Cody ready to
start. I don't think he'll play him. He likes him. I think he'll go Stones and Mings. I think I don't think he'll play Walker centre half. He'll play Walker right of a 3 if he plays 3 at the back.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? I don't think
the old Dan Cowan role.
There's enough strength in our side to do a job on them. I don't think it matters for me.
I think if Maguire's not playing, he's playing 4-4-2 or whatever. He's playing 4-2-3-1. I think he'll play Mings and Stones.
Okay,
so play Walker and Stones.
Are we sticking with then? So far, we've got Pickford, Trips, Shaw, Mings, Stones.
Yep.
Are we sticking to 4-2-3-1?
Yeah.
I think Declan Rice will start.
100%.
Billingham, he likes him.
He's another one of these, isn't he? Though he's played abroad, so we've not seen.
Yeah. He looked well. He looked good. He looked tidy. He looked confident. He looked strong. Is it too soon?
What's the score with Hendo?
He's not fit, is he?
He's not.
Hell, he's not fucking played for 4 months.
Yeah, but he's your captain, isn't he?
But it's like, as you see that clip on Roy Keane, what's he bringing? What is he bringing? You want to bring him because he's good for the squad. What's he doing? Is he telling jokes? If you want to bring him for the squad, bring him. Just try fly him over to be around the squad. Because he doesn't have to. You don't have to play. You can bring him around. For me, you've wasted it. You've wasted the opportunity for another player there.
Body down, isn't it?
It was. Someone said, should he have gone or should he not? And someone said, yeah, of course he should have gone. And I think it was Roy Keane. No, he shouldn't. He's been selfish. He's selfish.
Who would you have put in his space then?
Is Phillips injured or Phillips fit? Because Phillips plays for me all day.
No, I meant in his space in the squad.
Again, Lingard. If you're not going Ben White, I would have put Lingard before Ben White, and then Ben White.
Depends what you play, doesn't it? What you're thinking of playing.
Yeah, Ben White can play that position like a holding midfielder, or if you play one there, you can play Lingard bombing on. I feel like he took a risk on 2 players. Taking 1 injured player, Maguire or Henderson. Don't take 2 injured players. Do you know what I
mean? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that.
I mean, you can't not take Maguire.
So what are we saying then? So what we're saying. So we've got our keeper, back 4, and Declan Rice.
I've got Phillips.
Matt.
It's tough. I'll go me.
I would love that. I'd love that if you Matty Mainwaring.
Just link play. I'm not sure if we've got a bigger dilemma because Henderson's not fit or
yeah.
It's tricky. That's if we play that.
Yeah.
What about Mason Mount?
Yeah.
I'd rather have him further up the pitch to cause havoc.
Yeah, but then you've got.
Could you argue it's a bit of a weakness? I don't know. Not having a nailed-on player for that. I don't know. We're gonna have to be solid, aren't we?
I mean, Phillips plays there week in week out for Leeds, and he's probably Leeds' best player. He's Leeds' captain. He's simple. He just gets the ball, he breaks play up, and he just pings balls to people.
For people watching, by the way, I'm aware Mason Mount is not a deep line midfielder. I'm just thinking of all those choices up front, he's probably the one. Henderson
for his leadership. If he was fully fit, I'd have Henderson in there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against Henderson. I think he's a class player. I think what he's done for Liverpool, and I think he's a very good player. I think he's underrated. But so he would start if he was fit, yeah, for me. If not, Phillips would be in there with Declan Rice.
So I'll go Phillips then. It does make sense.
Yeah, it does.
The three up top for me would be Foden, Grealish, Foden, and Sancho.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So I'm okay. Sorry, Raheem. if you're watching.
It's recent form, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, recent form, mate.
This is the point, though. I can't. It wouldn't upset me if he did. Do you know what I mean? I'm not. I just, in my opinion, I'd go for that experience and that. But I get it. Do you know what I mean? I get the other side of it.
For me, of current form, Sterling would be 5th choice out of the 5 of them for me. I'd have Mount before Sterling.
And then leading the line, Rashford, yeah?
No, Greenwood, injured. That's another one. Obviously, he's gone home. He's injured. But that's another player who would have to play some part in the tournament for what he can give to the team. He can always score a goal. Greenwood.
Yeah, great season for United, and he's got another one coming. So
I don't know though, has he? Has he? Because if Sancho comes to United, Sancho will, they're paying 100 million for him. He will have to play 70% of the game.
I'm no United fan, far from it. But those Mason Greenwood, United are on a little gem there. They'd be.
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't think he'll stay. I think Greenwood will get snapped up.
Well, he wants him to play up top, doesn't he? But I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's strong enough. I think
he'll end up in Spain. Do
you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. He's just gradually getting better, wasn't he? After being at. I think you
look where he was though. You look where he was though, and where Foden was, and he was edging away, and he's just gone like that now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But again, it's game management. He was playing him too much. I think he was playing because he was out of options. He was playing Greenwood too much.
Yeah,
and he was bearing the weight of the team on his shoulders, like to Rashford as well. And it's just going back to it. It's all about management. You see, people don't understand how important managing a player is.
Okay, so that's our team. Pickford. Forgotten now. Pickford, Shaw, Trippier.
Yep.
Mings and Stones.
Yep.
Phillips and Rice.
Yep.
Sancho, Grealish and Foden.
Yep.
Kane.
Big Sir Harry Kane.
Sir Harry of Kane.
Arise, Sir Harry Kane. He won't be long until he's leading goal scorer, will it?
It's not a bad team, is it?
It's not a bad team.
And you'd expect us to be in the conversation, wouldn't
you? And how strong would the subs bench be as well, by the way?
Yeah. Hey. Well, actually, defensively,
we've got Ben Chilwell and Reece James.
Oh, as right backs, yeah, we're definitely sorted.
He smashed it at fullbacks.
If John Stones gets carried off 10 minutes in, I'm worried.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
Imagine getting to like the semis against Portugal or France and having Tyrone Mings and Conor Calder. And they're both scoring and we're winning.
That'd be class, wouldn't it? Sir Tyrone of Mings. Right, well, listen, gents, I think that's the longest show we've ever done. And the only reason I'm going to call it is because I feel like we could happily go on for another hour.
Yeah, let's call it.
And our view count goes like this after like an hour.
I can hear my missus stomping around upstairs.
I'm going for a walk. I'm going to faint me with this heat.
You look a bit moist.
I look a bit warm, don't I?
This is quite good, by the way.
Neck oil looks decent, mate, isn't it?
Who is it? Stephen McPhee?
Stephen McPhee.
Tell Stephen I will join him for a beer whenever he wants if he's got some of these.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Right, boys. It's emotional.
Big game on Sunday. We will definitely win, lose, or we can't draw against Hartlepool. We will be back next week.
Talking about county in a final.
Talking about county in a final. It's not if, it's when.
Correct.
Boys, enjoy the game. Enjoy the Euros.
Cheers, gents.
Take it easy.